Hey guys! What's up? Alpha Lion Simba here, and welcome to another episode of Awesome Arctic Animals. It's time to talk about what is probably hands down, or in this case, paws down, the most famous Arctic animal of all, the polar bear, or Ursus maritimus. So, let's cover the Arctic's bare necessities. The polar bear is the largest land carnivore in the world. A fully grown polar bear weighs 200 to 800 kilograms, or 441 to 1764 pounds. They are 190 to 300 centimeters, or 75 to 118 inches long, and they're about 160 centimeters, or 63 inches tall. And when standing on its hind legs, an adult male polar bear can stand 10 feet tall. Polar bears are superbly adapted for the bitter conditions of the Arctic. Their skin is actually black so as to absorb heat from the sun. While their fur looks white, it's not actually white, but hollow. But when light hits the fur, the reflections of the light make the fur look white. And as for the polar bear's paws, they act like snowshoes to keep the bear from getting stuck in the snow or slipping on the ice. And polar bears are amazing swimmers. They use their front feet to push themselves through the water, as their front feet are webbed, and they use their rear paws like rudders to steer. And polar bears have an amazing sense of smell. In fact, they're able to detect a seal carcass from up to 32 kilometers, or 20 miles away. Speaking of which, the polar bear is probably the only bear species considered to be purely carnivorous. In the wild, they mainly eat seals, plus fish, reindeer, and even whale carcasses. When it comes to seals, they have many different methods for catching seals. For example, they wait behind a seal's breathing hole and then grab the seal when it comes up for a breath of air, or sometimes they ambush the seals from the water. However, despite all these methods, 9 out of 10 polar bear hunts end in failure. While they don't hibernate like black bears and brown bears, female polar bears do dig maternity dens in the winter in which to have their cubs. Female polar bears usually have about 1 to 4 cubs per litter, and the cubs are born blind and helpless inside the den, but can fully walk by the time they leave the den in the spring. Weaning occurs at about 18 to 30 months old, and they reach maturity at 4 to 6 years old. Polar bears can live to be 20 to 30 years old, but they can live to be 45 years old in zoos. The polar bear is currently listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. It's threatened by oil pollution and by climate change, as global warming causes the polar ice caps to melt earlier every year, and there's fewer ice for the bears to hunt on. There are currently around 22,000 to 31,000 polar bears left in the wild. Well, that was it. My Awesome Arctic Animals episode about the polar bear. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, leave requests in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Alpha Lion Simba, out.